Hello. Over the last few weeks, the UAMS Fay W. Bozeman College of Public Health has issued Arkansas coronavirus models based on COVID-19 data provided by the State Department of Health. Their models include short and long-term forecasts for many factors, including total infections, hospitalizations, ICU admissions, and ventilators. We share these forecasts with Governor Hutchinson, the Department of Health, and other state leaders every 2 weeks in an effort to provide them with as much information as possible as they make decisions regarding how to best protect the health of Arkansans. These forecasts, like weather forecasts, are predictions based on current data at a point in time and are dependent on conditions remaining the same. Last week, Governor Asa Hutchinson issued an executive order calling for mandatory masks for all Arkansans when in public. We at UAMS support the governor's decision and are extremely grateful to him for taking this step, which we believe will help save lives. We are hopeful that this thoughtful action will have an impact on data and likewise our projections going forward, and that we'll start to see a flattening of the curve over the next few weeks. Now, I want to introduce Dr. Ben Amick, Associate Dean for Research in the College of Public Health. I've asked him to give a brief overview of our most recent models.
Hi, using data collected through July 13th, this slide shows the short-term forecast of the number of COVID cases we can expect in Arkansas through July 28th. This model uses a third-degree polynomial equation to forecast future cases. Cases are those testing positive for COVID-19. As you can see from the curve, the blue dots are the actual cases reported to the Arkansas Department of Health, and the dashes are the forecasted cases. The 15-day forecast suggests Arkansas will have just short of 40,000 cumulative cases on July 28th. The forecast curve fits actual cases very well. We can also discern from the forecast that we should expect to see continued sharp increases in cases over the next 2 weeks. This slide shows the long-term ESEER model projection for the number of active cases in Arkansas through March 2021. By active cases, we mean cases being monitored who have not been cleared through quarantine. As you can see, the ESEER model is projecting, if all things remain the same, over 100,000 active cases about November 24th of this year. The pink area is the 95% confidence zone. What this means is we are 95% confident the true number of active cases on a given date will lie within the confidence zone. At its peak in late November, the model is projecting, all things remaining the same, the true number of active cases will be between 50,000 and 170,000. What is shown on this slide are projected cases and hospitalizations for the peak of the epidemic using a moving mean model. Of particular note is the projected peak dates and peak number of cases. This model and the ESEER model shown on the previous slide are very similar. Like the ESEER model, the peak number of cases is projected to be in late November on the 26th. The model is projecting over 100,000 cases and 2,591 hospitalizations, of whom almost 800 will require intensive care and 550 ventilation. The worst case estimate, shown on the far right, given the moving mean projection, has only a 5% chance of occurring, which is why it is called the worst case projection. We know COVID-19 is not having the same impact on everyone in Arkansas. As this slide shows, African American and Latinx Arkansans are being disproportionately affected by COVID-19. Latinx Arkansans have almost 3 times greater numbers of COVID cases per 10,000 population as African Americans, and 6 times that of white Arkansans. Arkansans living in urban areas have higher numbers of infections per 10,000 population as those living in rural areas. But with recent numbers of cases, we can probably expect this to change. There is no discernible difference in the impact of COVID-19 on men and women.